It's Rangers Hurricanes Game 2 going down tonight at the Garden. So I want to get you guys a player's perspective on how well the Rangers have been playing and their mindset going into Game 2. So let's bring in former NHL player and the host of the Missin Curfew podcast, Scotty Upshall. We could talk about Game 2. Scotty, man, 759 career games played. You, sir, have the credentials. Thanks for hopping on with us, man.
Brandon, thanks for having me. Appreciate it.
All right, I want to get your player's perspective on this one because if you're Breadman, you're Mika Zibanejad and the guys, what's being said in the locker room heading into Game 2, and what are the guys doing outside of the facility to get their minds right and get ready?
I think they got a good group of guys in there, like a good group of pros that have been in this position before. You look at guys like Kreider, a guy that's been there, most power play goals in Ranger history. These guys, this time of year is the best time to be playing hockey. The spring air is in the air. You're walking around West Side Highway, you're outside walking around West Village with your family. You're living basically a normal life, but there's just so much excitement, in and around a city like New York when the Rangers are buzzing, into the second round up 1-0 against a really good Carolina Hurricanes team. This is the time of year fans get excited. And, just that atmosphere around town is pretty special to be a hockey player right now.
Not to mention the Knicks are up 1-0 in their series against the Pacers, man. The city is absolutely buzzing. This team had a lot of wait time between round 1 and round 2. Coach Laviolette held competitive practices to keep guys' juices going. They had another competitive practice after the Game 1 win against Carolina. Not one player has complained. When does that full team buy-in happen? Is that like a preseason thing, regular season, or just like you swept the Caps in the first round? Let's keep doing what we've been doing.
Yeah, it's a pretty unique position you find yourself in when you roll through a team, early in the first round. And I think what Lavi's been able to do, Lavi's a guy that, lets his players this time of year really coach themselves. It's a special thing. It's when you realize that your team is at the point where you don't really need to coach them. You just need to give them that confidence and the ability to know that they're the best team out there right now. They're the President's Trophy winners. You just look at how they play the game. They've got structure. They've got great defense, and their power play to me is the best power play clicking right now in the NHL. And you want to keep the pace up high, something that Lavi's probably said the last week. And these players just know that this time of year, details are so important, and being able to be ready. You look at the game last night, Florida-Boston. Florida, a week off. Boston coming off a big game, probably why Slavin came out and was the star of that game. But he's on his game, and that's something that teams that when you sweep the first round, you got to stay sharp. And Lavi knows that. I think the guys in the room know that, from Fox to Zibanejad. These guys keep the pace of play up high, and it's great for their team. And I'm expecting them to roll into Game 2 the same way they played Game 1.
Especially having a coach that's been there before in the playoffs, like head coach Peter Laviolette. You talk about those details, these championship details. What can get the Rangers beat in Game 2? What do they need to tighten up?
Well, there's no question Carolina is a team that they have firepower. They got great goaltending, although I think Freddie Anderson hasn't been his best the last 3-4 games for Carolina. But from Sebastian Aho to Svechnikov, these guys they're highly skilled. They play with a lot of pace. These two teams right now, to me, are who's going to drive the East. Whoever can come out of this round, I think, has the advantage over Boston and Florida. Just to me, I think they're just built different. Expect just Carolina to push. They're a team that will going down 2-0 in a series is, it's a little bit of a backbreaker. So for me, Carolina's they're too equipped. brind'amour knows how to get his guys ready. They're not going to fall behind 2. So, it's going to be a great game, man. Playoff hockey at Madison Square Garden, something really special. Whoever gets in that building is going to have a nice ticket and a nice seat for a great hockey game tonight. And really looking forward to that one.
I was going to say, do you have a Game 2 prediction? And I also want to ask, like, when you're sitting back, having yourself a beer, watching this game, what are you looking for from a player's perspective?
Yeah, I just look for a great start. Like, whether it's, it's a guy like Rempe just going out and throwing a big hit to get the crowd engaged, or, just their team and well built. I like physical play. So anytime a playoff game starts with a couple big hits and some energy, It's exciting to me, but we're a DraftKings podcast, and I always look for these games to stay close. So I look for something with a puck line or something going into overtime, just to kind of keep that game intense, keep it right till the end of the buzzer. And what better moments in playoff NHL hockey than having games go to overtime and great building. So I look for these games to stay tight.
Shout out the podcast and where the people can find you, Scotty.
Listen, we're on all the channels. We're on DKN Network Wednesday and Friday afternoon. And then we, anywhere you get your podcasts, YouTube, Spotify, Apple. Me and my boy Obi, we like to, we like to spit stories, talk shop, and talk some hockey. So it's a good time.
All right, man. Thanks for hopping on with us.
Anytime, Brendan. Thanks.